players. Let's see what's going to happen. As we have the rematch from earlier today already. It is to the bottom right hand side, our red Protoss player from Psystorm Gaming. We have already seen Gumiho advancing through the group in first place. It is strange bottom right, but Stephano has low FPS. Hopefully he can fix it. Hopefully we can get around this nice and easily. We all did take down Cast then. Corvus just confirming that for us, which is nice to know, of course. Go! And if Strange is ready, we will resume. Alright, so bottom right hand side of the map. Let's wait for the text to fade to do some nice intros without any spam on the screen or anything, you know.
Game paused.
God damn it. A little bit of a delay here, guys. Obviously, just some issues at the moment. Hopefully, we get them sorted out and we can get in game nice and quickly. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Would be great. Would be fantastic. Hopefully, Stephano can get this sorted. Obviously, not good to play with low FPS. Very frustrating. Can put you off your game. Just distracting. You can obviously just make you play with in general. As go says Stephano. Ready. We'll resume once again. Waiting for Stephano to pause once more. In about like 3. No, okay, he seems alright, perfect. Bottom right side of the map, our red Protoss player from Psystorm Gaming is Strange. He is going up against the PvZ player to the top left hand side of the map from Meltdown, Stephano. Has sorted out his FPS issues. He's allowing us to continue on in this game. Let's see what's going to happen as we go on forward. So we're going to see hatch gas pool going to be taken by Stephano to begin with. There's the hatch, there's the gas, and there is the spawning pool as well. For now, just the gateway going to be building up here. That's going to be finishing shortly, and it's a Nexus followed by a Cyber Core. Now, in the earlier series, we saw a bit of a mixture of builds from Strange. In the first game, we saw a super late game scenario. That's right, I remember the game. That was super late game nuke cook, of course it was. So in the first game, they played this super late game sort of scenario, which was like 30 minutes. Really kind of like super long game. So that was a very long series. And then we saw, in game number 2, Strange changing things up a lot and basically going for a big adept Archon all-in, which just didn't really work out for him. Stephano was looking very good in those games and really just deflecting everything that came his way, so yeah, played that out very nicely, Stephano, and will be interesting to see what Strange is going to do to try and just change things up this time around, because Abyssal Reef is a map which definitely could go to the late game. So Abyssal definitely could go late game. So if Strange wants it to go there, he probably can let it go there. We'll see how Stephano plays it too. It's an interesting map, Abyssal. It's got a good mixture of easy to defend bases, but for PvZ, there's multiple ways to attack and multiple, attack paths, ways to attack in from, directions to attack in from, I should say. And that changes up quite a lot, because what it means basically is that all of a sudden you're able to deflect. You're able to kind of just be a lot more aggressive than, say, on Newkirk, where most of the time you're attacking from one direction. There's a couple positions where you can split up and you can get a good concave on Newkirk. It doesn't quite have the same effect as trying to hit run-bys of, being here, there, and everywhere. So, just to see how this develops. As you do just see the third hatchery is indeed coming down for Stephano, just to the left-hand side of the map. So the third hatch coming down over here, and with that, just a couple of extra gateways from Strange. We haven't yet to see any tech from him, actually, so that's kind of interesting. The 3 gates super quickly, but no tech at all. It's very different. Stephano will try and scout for tech right now. Stalker will start to do some damage. Obviously, this Overlord is an Overlord, which Stephano has already given up on. He knows it's going to die, but he's just hoping that he picks up something for his sacrifice. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case here. Gotta roll the dice though, it's gotta take the chance, gotta try and figure out what's going on. It's just strange because, well, we're gonna see the third Nexus coming down super quickly, so Stephano will see there's a 4-minute third, just no tech behind it at all. So crazy. So crazy as these lings run by, and as they hit the front they'll just see the 3 gateways. I guess in the end it's not really too ridiculous, it's just a lack of tech from Strange initially, and from there you should be able to move forwards in a bit of a different way to usual, I guess. As again, those lings coming up to the top side, and the Queen's just going to be looking to try and pop down at creep 2 or 2 to the left-hand side as well. Just spread out the creep, get the map control going his way. Creep is something which in ZVP was for a long time maybe never as important as in ZVT, and depending on composition it's maybe still not quite as important, but it is still nice to have, so especially connecting up your bases, and especially just at least out from your bases a little bit, just to get a pre-warning of any zealots that are going to start running in that direction, just so you can start, or adepts or whatever, just so you can start putting units into position at the right time. Double Forge came down, so Strange really just playing this very unique playstyle, something that I can't really recall having seen myself any time in recent games or anything. Double Forge PvZ, gonna go into the Robo facility too, which I don't think is too surprising at this point. Maybe we're expecting the Twilight to come down at the same time, but I'm sure the Twilight will not be too far behind it as he warps in a few sentries, and I guess one thing he could maybe look for is, as he has a third Nexus, so think this through with me. He has a very fast third Nexus, like first down Twilight. I was gonna say maybe he just starts like a Warp Prism, and with 1-1 upgrades goes for like a super powerful gate all in. Like a lot of gates, because he has 3 Nexus and a lot of economy quickly. Just warp in a lot of gates, warp in a lot of units with 1-1 upgrades, and just push with a Prism. Could have been cool. Could have been interesting. But I'd still have that sort of idea with the Twilight Council upgrade, whatever he chooses to go for. I mean, in general, when you commit in so heavily to the gateway-based army, in terms of upgrades, Twilight, etc., you're probably expecting some kind of aggression. You're probably not just expecting the Pros player to sit back and do absolutely nothing, you know? And Bane's just going to collect up to the northern side here as the Phoenix. Hallucinated Phoenix here does get shot down by the Spore Crawler. Hydralis Den is just over halfway done, so Hydralis Den just about halfway done, plus 2 melee on this Evo Chamber as well. And again, just creep spread. Actually going really nicely out on the map from Stephano through the center to the left hand side. He's got some good creep as well to the top side. Has a little bit of creep also. Such a really nice little setup here so far as we see 5 more drones on the way out. And again, creep just pushing on forwards through the center of the map. Stephano just setting up into this and looking to see what he's going to be able to get going for himself next year. And a few more hiders just on the way up, and you see the Bane speed is coming on in as well, +1 missiles, +2 melee. We're seeing Stephano, he's going back to that exact same playstyle he went for earlier today when he played against Strange. And I mean, obviously, why not? If it worked for him to take down 2-0 earlier, why not continue it now? So it's exactly what he's doing. He's adding in those Hydralisks. We're seeing, again, the +2 melee coming up, the +1 missiles is on the way up as well. These extra drones coming out. I'm just going to see this blink about halfway done from Strange. The extended thermal lance is about 15-20% of the way done. And a pylon just coming in behind this mineral line. Alright, cool. Couple Hallucinated Phoenix. Something Strange has been doing throughout the game, sending some hallucination outs to just continually pick up information, just try and see what else is happening from the Zerg player. 7 minutes and 45 seconds in, and we sit in this position where there's a lot of creep, there's some good run by potential. He's going to actually Stephano and try and attack to the right momentarily there, it looked like. Instead pulls back around and is just going to work his way through those rocks, open up access towards this 4th base right away. So set up towards this, and Stephano will probably want to move in some more Banes too. He does have Bane speed already, pulls back a little bit. He has got a lot of gas to morph in Banes too, so it'd definitely be worthwhile. You can see what Strange has gone for. He's gone straight into Colossi. So he's gone into Colossi, basically because he says, I want a counter to Hydralisks, and Hydra Bane, or Hydra Ling, will die very quickly to a lot of Colossi lasers just kind of going forth again and again. We can see these Banes actually decide to turn away as that Adept just find them, so they're going to turn away, maybe come back another time. Hopefully be a little bit more successful when they return. You see Stephano, man, just going to play super passively in this, like, I mean, really not doing anything at all. I mean, obviously he pushed across to look for an opportunity, didn't find it. He's gone into the infestation pit, which is generally suggestive that he wants to start up the hive. He hasn't done that yet, which I feel is maybe just a small misstep from him. Because the sooner he gets a hive, the sooner he can put used to the spire, which is about to finish. And the spire is probably not just for if you... well, actually, I guess he's seen Colossi, so maybe he wants to go for the spire just to get Corruptors out. It sounds weird to say because it's not something you usually see, but it is a possibility. It is something that could happen, and there we go, Corruptors are on the way out. And obviously, I mean, Corruptors leading to Broodlords, but he might not be looking to rush towards Broodlords here. Especially not if he's going to start +1 Flyer Carapace. So actually, yeah. This is looking pretty okay for now. And as we see, a couple of Troop Tumors getting cleaned out here. More Stalkers will warp in. Little Archon's going to pop up to the left side as well. And well, there's a Guardian Shield coming down. You can see a Colossi getting coming across the map trying to reinforce right now, but that's unfortunately not going too well for him either, as you can see that Stephano, Lingbane, Hydra to the northern side. So I'll spread out a little bit, looking to see what he can set up into. A few Banes, Lings, and Hydras to the left hand side as well, and here we go, big fight from Strange. He's the one that's pushing into this position. The Corruptors are here, but there's again not that many of them just yet. A few Banes do manage to roll on in. I like what Stephano's doing, just sending Banes forwards, you know, basically baiting out the initial set of force fields. And then he's going to go again when there's less force fields available. This time he really will commit into this. The Banes crash into pretty much everything already. The Colossi in the back, though, are just going to be doing so much damage. Is it going to be enough? There's still Corruptors in the sky. The Colossi are slowly dropping here. Oh, it's a bit of a weird mixture of emotions right now for me, because Strange stays alive, but there's a lot of reinforcements for Stephano coming through, but there's not going to be many Hydras. He's remade mostly Lings and a few Banes. 9 Hydras on the way out, but I can't imagine that they're going to have the greatest of times here. A couple of Corruptors did join the fray as well. He's going to come straight in for the Prisms, shut down any further reinforcements. He's going to get back onto the Colossi now, and they will start to drop down a little bit faster. Target firing them even with the Hydralisks. Stephano's going to push this away. He's going to pick off all the Stalkers. And in the end, he does clean on up. I feel like this fight was like a good fight for Strange initially, but now that he's just lost everything, Stephano is in a little bit of well, he's got momentum on his side to begin with, but in general, I think Stephano will be in a little bit of an advantage here. Still, Lings, Hydras, a few Corruptors too. I'm just going to see now the Greater Spire is going to be morphing in as well, so Greater Spire comes into play, and he is just going to be looking towards the Broodlords as a follow-up now. On the other side of the map, Colossi are rebuilding from Strange once more, just looking to build the same sort of composition. Stalkers and Immortal joining up over here. Creep Teamer comes down and will just be spread up through the top side, and again, Lingbane, Hydra. Just looking to see what's going to happen. Lumnia's going to come in from the left-hand side, and Lumnia's from the top as well. And I guess the Banes may just look to hit the mineral line while he's distracting his opponent with the rest of the units at the front. Here we go then. Banes are going to roll on in, and does a couple of probes. Good overcharges to help out defend that. Surprised he didn't go for this Nexus. I guess he'll be able to... I guess he won't be able to do too much. I guess the units will come back in, and then he's kind of like wrapped around a Nexus, which cannons finishing and all sorts. Probably not going to work out too well. Again, Lings, Hydras, Queens, all joined up together to the top side of the map. A lot of these Lings are going to come through the top side and look to see what they where they might be able to get to. So these Lings going to look around. Meanwhile, we do see the Stalkers going to blink up top and just see what else is going to be happening. Broodlord's going to be finishing up here in a few moments as well. And we're hitting the late game. The thing is, though, this time the late game for our Pros player is not quite going to be in position. He doesn't have the Fleet Beacon, he doesn't have a Stargate even. So he doesn't have a way to go in towards the anti-Broodlord play we saw him go for last time around and start stretching the game out. So this is looking good for Stephano. Again, he's hitting this sort of late game scenario where his opponent has been trying to kill him before now, but it hasn't worked. He's survived. Good stuff by Stephano. I mean, it was very close, obviously, when he lost this base over here, but he was calm, he was patient, he got his reinforcements up. And he swarmed in with enough units, he had enough Corruptors to get rid of the Colossi, and the reinforcements worked out for him. That is so much what Zerg is about, sometimes engaging, not to win the first fight, but to win the remax, win the rebuild. And Strange did just stay a bit too aggressively towards the front that last time around. Whoa, Banes do hit this mineral line, and this time they need to kill out absolutely everything but one probe. Wow, suddenly 18 workers disappear and Strange just taking a heavy hit to the eco. 5 workers rebuild at a time though. I mean, he's got 5 Nexus, so I guess that's not too surprising. But he's just going to reproduce some of those workers, get his economy going once again. And a few Lings and a few Hydras down to the south side from Stephano. Still a large army from Strange pushing up towards the top side of the map. Spine's going to keep on burrowing, going to push on forwards once again, and obviously we've seen those units still trying to work their way through the hatchery. Stalker's going to blink forwards, and well, a couple of Brutals already starting to go down. Bane's trying to roll forwards also. And look to see what else they can get up to. The Spines continue to fight here. Ooh, another blink forwards. I mean, I can understand he wants to kill the Brutes, but these Stalkers are getting crushed. At the same time, only a few Brutals remain. And the Spine Wall has helped Stephano out so much here. Pretty much being his real savior. As we're going to see some Investors with a Fungal Growth will still not quite keep the Brutals alive. But as Lings stream in, it's going to look very similar to the previous engagement, where eventually Stephano streams in and wins. In fact, he's already got units across the map to take down the 4th base of Strange as well. So this is going to keep pushing forwards. The Warp in play to try and keep Colossi alive on lower health, but I mean, this Colossus has literally 1 health, I think. So that's not really going to go too well, as again, Ling is picking off another pylon. GG, Stephano finds a victory. It is, again, a disadvantage for our purple Protoss player to the bottom right-hand side of the map. From Psystorm Gaming, it is Strange. And to the bottom left-hand side, the pink Zerg player from Meltdown is Stephano. Newkirk Precinct yet again. So this is the map that went long, and I mean long, when we had the previous series between these guys. It was the first game, and it was a 30-minute, every base taken sort of situation. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, actually. It was entertaining too, but obviously not always. Well, I don't know. We casted a very long series last week, I guess. It was worth talking about quickly, just to fill some time. If you guys missed it, we were playing the 6 Worker Start Tournament, or casting the 6 Worker Start Tournament from Ill Gaming SC2. And it was kind of funny, man. Like, Reno against Beastie Cutie was a 3-hour-long best of 5. It was crazy. Every game going like super late game and all the rest of it. It was really quite ridiculous. It truly was. And as we do see this probe, just checking around, sees that hatchery on the low ground, pulls back up to the northern side and just checking for a 3rd base of Stephano right now, just to see what's up, just to see what's happening, you know, just see if anything in particular is going on. Overlord's moving around as well here from Stephano. See an Overlord up to the top, this Overlord down south as well, moving forwards, see where he can go to. And we do see indeed the base to the far bottom right hand side from Strange has just got nothing in it. Really nothing exciting. So I'm really bad at these early stages of the game in PvZ. Like, I don't know what to say. Should tell you guys a fun story? I don't know any fun stories though. It's a fun story we can tell you guys about. I have no idea. I really don't. I really don't. This probe continues to move over to the right hand side, and we'll just be looking to see what he can get up to. Moving forward, let's just drop down that those minerals into the Nexus. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy at all. Drawing up to the top side, going to be throwing down a hatchery as well. And getting a couple of queens just injecting here and there, bits and pieces. Those 2 Zerglings going to just run over back to the right hand side of the map. Resonating Glaive starts to come up here from Strange. He's got a couple of extra gateways on the way down. So he's going to go into... Haven't we seen a Glaives opening from him yet today? I feel as though we've seen a lot of Robo first play. We saw Stargate. I think the Stargate came down on Newkirk last time around. And we've seen like a Robo Twilight. We've seen just a Robo, I think. I think we've seen just a Twilight opening. So obviously with the Twilight opening with the Glaives, you can take the 3rd Nexus pretty quickly. You're pretty safe. Mostly because the Adepts will distract and, you know, just kind of take, Stephano's attention away from attacking and trying to deny the 3rd hatchery, or the 3rd Nexus. And obviously in the meantime you also have those adepts to do damage with and to protect it as well if you do have to pull back home. And what's Stephano going to have at this stage of the game? Well, pretty much just Lings, as he is once again just heading into that Bane Nest. Evolution Chamber is coming up now in the natural expansion as well, so the Evo Chamber will finish up and the +1 melee upgrade will be coming through here. So going into the +1 melee upgrade, it will allow Stephano now to just start setting up into, again, that Ling Bane sort of phase of the game. As you can see, this Creep Tumor is just going to push forwards, and another Creep Tumor will just come down at the front as well. Adepts from Strange will also be moving through the middle here. But with another Ling Bane on the way up, it should be an easy turnaround from Stephano. Strange so far today has been very cautious with his adepts, and that's exactly kind of what we're talking about right there. Cancels that shade before it goes too far forward. So, canceling that shade, as you see a couple of adepts again just peeling up to the top side. And a few more of these adepts just going towards the natural. They cancel. These adepts up here will get surrounded pretty quickly and dealt with. So, good defense by Stephano, not really losing much. Don't like the Banelings being used there, I don't think. Don't think there's any need for him to use Banelings there, as I mean, the Lings would have killed her eventually. Bane's a little bit more valuable anyways. More drones coming down, Spore Crawlers as well. Just, again, being safe, being secure. We have had the glaives into DT Shrine once today, so that's something we saw earlier from Strange. That was on Proxima in game number 2 of their series. The first time they played today. So nice to see Stephano just kind of being precautious, taking precautions against that possibility. As he goes into a lair of his own, I mean his Evo Chamber, second Evo Chamber, so he can go into the +1 missiles and +2 melee at the same time. And believe it or not, it looks as though we're seeing pretty much the exact same setup from Stephano all over again. 4th time in a row in the ZVP. But again, if it works, there's no real reason to change it. You know, if it's working for you, why change what's working? And what's working so nicely as well. You know, Stephano throughout the games, I mean, again on Newkirk last time he did have a bit of trouble, but he's been pretty confident throughout. I mean, a win is a win, and in the end, it was actually a crushing victory for Stephano, even if it took him 30 minutes, and even if it did look shaky for, you know, 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. A lot more adepts will open in from Strange. This is really kind of like mass adept sentry sort of aggressive push. Kind of similar to the Arca play. Oh, look at that single zerg. That's so huge for Stephano. Seeing this attack coming across the map. I mean, Strange is basically... It's actually a little bit weird because Stephano is in a position where he's teching up into everything right now. So actually might be a bit difficult for him to hold off this attack. Actually, Stephano's down a little bit in supply. He's got Banes. How did he end up at finish? I wonder if it's worth cancelling +2 and +1, the upgrades. Cancelling those just to bring them into a, you know, just to sort of set them up into a, have a bit more money to actually make some Hydras or more Ling Bane. Either or. You see a few force fields being used over here. A few Banes will go down initially. Stephano's way down in army supply. I don't know actually what happened for Stephano to be this far behind. He lost a few bits and pieces earlier to Adepts, but I didn't realize it kind of slowed him down so much, as this push from Strange right here is getting to the point where it's almost game ending. Stephano is not really got anything. Here he goes, he's going to push forwards now, and well, Bane does manage to make it through. Force field numbers are running low. The less force fields he has, the more chance Stephano has of breaking through. Remember that Stephano does have a lot more tech on his side, so it's pure numbers from Strange with actual kind of valued units from Stephano to some extent. As these Banes do connect a bit better. Now he's getting Bane speed as well. Will help out a lot to continue defending and deflecting. I just don't think his units are going to come out in the right positions at the right time. GG, Strange takes it. He finally gets a map off of Stephano. It doesn't work, and they're like, it looks like it works. Thank you. I was like, really? Jesus, man. So annoying. Bottom left-hand side, purple Protoss player is going to be Sidestorm Gaming Strange. And we are going to hit this bug again, which is interesting. Top right-hand side of the map is the pink Zerg player from Meltdown, Stephano. Drops a map to Strange now. Needs to win this to... Well, both players need to win to stay in. The winner does advance through to tomorrow, Group Stage 2. So, important match. I've had some good games from these guys today, actually. It's been a very cool group. Stephano with some cool games here and there. Taking a map off of Gumiho was pretty cool. On the other side of things, Strange. Playing pretty cool games against against Insane in the losers match as well, so that's pretty neat. As we just look to see how this game will develop. Structure gets taken to the side. Hatch gas pool once again. Hatch at the front helps with the group spread a bit early on. Nothing really too crazy. As the same for Strange, even on Proxima Station, doesn't open Nexus first, just gate, Nexus core. Nothing, again, nothing ridiculous, nothing stupid. Just throwing down the gate, throwing down the core, and just continuing on from here. Overlord is on the way up from Stephano, and he's just getting himself into a position where he can sort of, again, just establish some bits and pieces initially. And I imagine Stephano will just play the same way again, like, you know, Ling, Bane into Hydras. Maybe it was a little bit greedy last game. Again, I'm sorry, because I feel as though I should be able to tell you guys what went wrong for him last game, but maybe just a combination of everything, like over-droning a bit perhaps. I mean, maybe he did just take a bit more damage or over-make units early. And so it's a difficult one to call, but he just did not have what he needed to when that attack came across. I didn't actually realize Strange was going to be so far ahead when he attacked. But Stephano was just not prepared. I think one thing is definitely the greed of Stephano. Because you think about it, he's starting +2 melee and +1 missiles and a Hydroden and Bane speed. All of that is starting up at the point where that attack comes in. That's so many more units, and of course, I mean, Strange isn't investing into any further tech. Stephano already has a tech lead, even if he just starts a Hydroden. You know, he's got +1 melee, and yet he goes for so much more, and I feel as though the real answer might have just been to cancel a lot of those things, and just get up a lot more Ling Bane if possible. Might have been just a way better way to kind of deal with things. Anyways, probes keep on mining here towards the natural expansion, and I'm just going to see this Twilight Council finishing up as well. Once again, the Resonating Glaive's open, so Strange for the second time in a row will do the same build. Obviously, he felt as though it worked, so he might just try the same again. I mean, when you've played 5 games against your opponent, when you've played 4 games and only one of your strategies has worked, what are you more likely to do? Try one of the strategies that didn't work from earlier, or retry the strategy that just won you your game finally? A couple of Lings from Stephano gonna move down south in towards the center of the map here. Just a couple of Lings just looking to see what's up and what's going on. And just going to be seeing the, again, a couple of gateways going to be finishing up in the near future for Strange. So, those couple of gates going to finish shortly. You're going to see a pylon coming down to the side here. Strange going to set that up, and again, just getting ready to throw the Nexus down on the third base. So far, exactly the same as in game number 2. Stephano with the Echo Chamber and the Bane Nest a little bit later this time around, I think. I think last time he went for the Bane Nest about 3:30ish, so I think it's a little bit later on. Which might be a little bit problematic if these Glaive Adepts come in a bit too soon. Again, should just be +1 melee as well, and again, so far everything looking pretty standard, I guess. Pretty standard, and pretty much as though we're going to see the same old stuff once again from both players. Let's see these Adepts continue to move on forwards. I'm just going to be seeing the quick team at the front getting picked off. Queen's doing a little bit of damage. The Adepts do not shade. I mean, there's plenty of Lings actually. If they can get us around, it'll probably be okay for the Zerg play to trade it out. So, a few Banes come in. The work count pretty even right now. We see the +1 melee does indeed start. Big round of drones for Stephano as the robot facility comes on up, and, well, Strange still looking as though he could just go for the exact same play as what he went for in that last game. Still not really doing anything in particular to change things up or anything along those lines just yet. 3 gateways from Strange are continuing to build, and it's going to be setting on up. We're going to see there's 2 more, so it's 8 gates. It's going to be the exact same as last time. So what does Stephano change? What does he have to do differently? Well, so far, I mean, it's definitely not an income issue, right? His income's good, it's about even, so he's mining enough. He just needs to make enough units, not over drones. So after this round of drones, he really needs to stop and know what's happening so he can make enough units in time. Because the problem is, while the army supplies are even right now, in a few seconds, there's a lot of gateways up. You know, there's actually going to be, what, 6 more finishes? It's going to be 10 gates. It's a lot of production, so the army supply value of Strange is about to explode. So Stephano needs to not over drone, not go too greedy in terms of building more stuff with the lair finishing. It would also be good if he could identify that this was coming as well. I mean, he saw it on Newkirk, but at that point it was too late, and right now it feels as though he's doing the same sort of thing. More drones. The thing is, he's not even staying that far ahead of Strange on workers, but it might just be a bit too much if he isn't careful. But no second Evo is a good sign. I think the spine crawlers are a wise investment as well, obviously. Because actually Adepts and Sentries don't really take spine crawlers down too easily. A lot more Banes, Bane speed starting to, Maulings too. I mean, yeah, I feel as though this is Stephano making the adjustments. Will be enough. You got to remember that static defense. Oh, I don't think you should fight without the static defense. Oh, but we do see a few Banes sneaking in. A couple of Sentries going down, Adepts as well. This is the awkward part, because now the Adepts have to decide if they're going to shade past into a group of Banes or if they're going to fight the Spine Crawlers. Well, another couple of Banes going forward. Every Bane that connects is so much damage done to what is generally a pretty clumped up set of units right now from Strange. Still trying to break on through. Mauling's going to join the fight in the front. He's running out of Banelings though, Stephano. He's just running out of ways to keep on fighting this. Another wave of Adepts warping in, and Strange just needs to split away a little bit. Stephano is struggling. He's really struggling, but he's still got a spine crawl, and to be fair, the Adept numbers of his opponent are wearing thin as well. Stephano needs a lot more Zerglings. He's got lava, not really. He can't spend his money. That's obviously a huge issue. A couple of drones now going to start going down. You can afford to lose a couple of drones here, but not too many. Resources lost is dead even. Stephano just needs a couple more units. Hydra's popping out without Lings, etc. to back them up is not great because they die so quickly. They really shouldn't be continuing to fight right here. 10 drones going down. Where's that? Is that just at the front? Wow. There's so many drones there. I mean, a few more Hydras will help. We're at the point where there isn't actually any sentries left over. It's just pure Adept. It isn't good army quality at all here for Strange, but I think he's just got enough because Stephano doesn't have any Banelings. And so everything's just going to start dropping so quickly, and Stephano was so close to moving through this group. But Strange, the same build more or less twice in a row. Looks as though it's going to be able to knock Stephano out. They're still not quite over yet. And Stephano will fight until the very, very end, but now down 20 workers. It doesn't get better for him from here. I mean, he'll clean up these Adepts nicely, but then he has to go and clean up these other Adepts, and it really isn't pretty. We see a Mothership Core going to drop down some Time Warp. Stephano's a little bit like, well, I actually don't know what I'd do against that, because obviously I don't want to fight through it, but I'm not used to seeing Time Warps nowadays. A few Banes will go off. Stephano's actually trading a lot better in the last few moments, but he still is struggling because there's more Adepts warping in all of the time. GG. Strange will make the comeback after losing 3 maps in a row today against Stephano in very different games. He finds the build that Stephano is weak against, and he uses it to his maximum potential, and that's going to win him this series. Strange advances to the round of 16.